Baseball players who use steroids. Longevity is one of the biggest factors that make an athlete's life great. With longevity, you will have better records, better statistics, and last but not least, better money. But sometimes the players can develop an obsession with longevity, which makes them do many miserable things, of which the most important is taking performance-enhancing drugs and steroids. It has been no secret that athletes have been taking steroids for many decades, and it has helped them reach heights that no one could have. And they do it all illegally. Once you get caught, your career will be gone. We see some of the biggest athletes from the biggest sports use steroids. For example, John Jones in UFC, almost any bodybuilder, and baseball, especially baseball. Baseball players have often been caught red-handed for using steroids and performance-enhancing drugs, and most of them are the ones who have reached the pinnacle of success and satisfactions a dreamer will have. But who exactly are these guys we are talking about? Welcome to the channel. Today we'll look at baseball players who were caught and accused of using steroids. So without further ado, let's get started. Number 5. Jose Canseco. Jose Canseco is one of these players we loved in childhood and grew up with, only to learn that he shaped his whole career using steroids. Yes, you heard that right. What Jose believed was that he deserved to take steroids as every other big players on the roster was using them. He was stripped of many accolades for violating the laws, and he turned into a villain as he went on to admit that he was one of those who injected illegal juices into their body. It was pretty sad for the baseball community to realize that their hero used stuff villains would use. Number 4. Mark McGwire. Mark McGwire is one of the other sad stories of baseball that people wished they had never heard of. Like Canseco, McGwire was one of the most entertaining baseball players to enter the pitch. People would gather in number to see him hit a home run. But just like Canseco, even McGwire turned out to be one of the biggest cheaters of the game. He scored more than 500 home runs and had to retire in 2001 due to vision problems which anabolic steroids might have caused. And it was in 2010 that McGwire finally admitted to his steroid usage. Number 3. Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds were one of those players who would have been great even if he did not use steroids. But he underestimated his potentials and gave up on his talent, as even he was seen using those magic uses. It was evident in his physique that something was weird, and it did not take people very long to figure out what was happening. He used this power to break records of other steroid-induced players, but it still does take away the fact that he is a Hall of Fame caliber player. Number 2. Sammy Sosa. People would have never been surprised to learn that Sammy Sosa was a steroid addict. He was caught using cork bats, and since then, people have closely watched his career and how it will progress. Even though it progressed well, everyone knew he was on steroids. And just like Barry Bonds, Sammy never admitted to using them. At the end of the day, he ended his career with a total of 609 homes and many steroid-breaking records. Number 1. Rafael Palmeiro. Rafael Palmeiro was one of the most infamous players in baseball. You might have hated him, but you'd be the happiest person alive if he was on your team. He was not the type of players who would think to have taken steroids, and there were no signs of side effects taking over him. He did not have bloated muscles, acne, vision problems, or anything. But then, there was Jose Canseco, who himself admitted to injecting Palmeiro with steroids. And then, just like that, he was caught using anabolic steroids and tested positive. The baseball fans were shocked to hear these revelations, but later admitted that every big player has done steroids.